Hey. Hey y'all, what's up? I'm back with another video. It's Elise again. I mean, I don't even have a YouTube intro. I haven't even chosen anything yet. But what's up? It's Elise, and I'm back with another video. And you already know what it is. I'm gonna do Pillsbury cookies. So yeah, these are the bunny ones. I really wanted to do the egg ones, but since like I went on this break, didn't really get to do it I didn't get to do it. And today's the 14th and not Easter. I really should have done this like before, you know, all of this been happening, but it's okay. It's fine, you know, it's whatever. But yeah, we're gonna do the bunny cookies, and we're gonna actually have an interesting like talk and bake video, because today I'm just gonna talk about the importance of learning, like, you know, like cultures and all that. And I really hope that I can put it like better into words, because if you watch my week in the life vlog about just being in quarantine, and that'll come to you maybe this Saturday. So that's like, I think, I don't actually know the day, but it might come to you this Saturday, and I'll just kind of talk about like what I was watching, what I was doing. But basically I watched Wendy Wu Homecoming Warrior today, and I was thinking, just because if you know the whole premise of the story, it's basically Wendy Wu is this warrior from like just reincarnated for like thousands and thousands of years, just to be this person that defeats this evil entity that's a part of like the terracotta. You know, I know it's fiction, but at the same time it kind of made me think when it comes towards the importance of learning culture and why you should be taught like where you come from and how you know how your family or your heritage lived, like, you know, the life. Then it's kind of like, you know, I think it's important that you need to know, but it's like, it's not like it's I think it's important that you need to know where you come from, and how, like, just how the media portrays certain heritages, certain cultures and certain just ways of life versus how you and your family would interpret it. And hopefully I could put it into words, because I really get nervous every time I turn on this camera. But like, I want to explain it in a way that like how I was explaining it out loud just to myself, because I mean it's easier to talk aloud to myself than to, like, you know, just talk to a camera, because I know this is gonna go on YouTube. But like, you know, just bear with me, and we're gonna wait until these thaw out, because I just pulled these out of the refrigerator, well, the freezer, so we're just gonna wait a little bit. So let's get started with the video. But let's see what the directions say. It says heat oven to 350 degrees, blah 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 blah. And then let me just pull out my pan, and wow. I'm gonna do that now, just so I can like thaw this out. And yeah, because this you know, of course when you turn on the stovetop gets really really hot, so it's just like it'll kind of work. I said work like a baby. But that'll probably help a little bit, so we're gonna do that. Okay, so the cookies are about to be on pan. I just cleaned my cookie pan, and we're gonna get on this discussion when I put these cookies in the oven. Like I said, hopefully I can actually put my thoughts together so I can actually do this. So it says bake 10 to 12 minutes. Cookie surface and edges will be pale in color. Okay, do not over bake. Cool 1 minute before moving. Blah, blah, blah. Okay, already know the drill. We're going to put this for 11 minutes. Let's do that. And I'm gonna put the cookies on the sheet. Okay, y'all, so I'm gonna put the cookies on the little pan, and today's topic is going to be about just the weird, like, cultural, I guess, what would be the correct word? Feeling rather weird about not knowing where you come from, as far as like culture wise and heritage and all that. Okay, just because I am a, you know, just an African American woman, I really just want to know like where I came from, and like what makes me black, and what's the basis, or like the whole I guess canvas would be the best thing to say. Okay, so back to what I was saying. Basically, when I watched Wendy Wu, the whole thing about the movie was that like the parents being like I'm guessing maybe third or fourth generation Asian Americans, and they didn't know that much about their Chinese culture. And even with the same thing with their kids, it wasn't really implemented on just learning their culture. And it's kind of like, dang, I really wish I learned, or I wish I like took it seriously, because my parents were like, you really should just like, you know, you should know these things. But the thing is, especially with that aspect, when you like grow up in America, everything is such a blended thing. It's a melting pot here. That's why it's always important when people are like, well, not important, but that's why always people are always like, okay, well, yeah, you're from the South, so this is this, and well, you're from up north, so this is that. So it's like, it's different when you are it's like a specific ethnic group, and you already know that, like, well, like not obviously, like since I was like born here, like I already came here just because I am, like, no, it's like historically not the truth. Like, just because I was like born here, does that mean that like the rest of my family was born here as well? And I mean, like, the beginning of time, of course. But like, what I'm saying is the fact that I think it should be prioritized to learn what you are growing up, because just culturally, I think it's important to figure out your heritage and what comes of it, and what brings it to life. Because I know with me, it's just really just black girl from Tennessee, from like I have, like, you know, the Southern hospitality, yes ma'am, no ma'am kind of thing, and like soul food is a big thing as far as with coming from the South, and just black culture in general. Let's see, but even with that, like, just black culture has kind of been a big thing with this, so with this country especially, it's kind of like, well, not even just this country, around the world, it has impacted most of what is accustomed to today, like what we're used to every day when it comes towards just regular things. But I really want to learn more, like what am I necessarily, where do I come from, what, like, specific country, what did they do, like what was their practices, all that. Because I mean, who's to say that they were actually what my religion is. I practice Christianity. Like who's to say that they were something different, or like what was it, like what made them them, and what basically was just, oh, like this right here, this is what feels like home, or this is what feels like a sense of normalcy, you know. So that's just my big thing. And I'm gonna go more in depth into it when I get my thoughts together, because I hate when I do this. I always have it together and I'm like, I want to talk about this, and then when the camera turns on, it's like I'm scared. But I do want to implement that with just with people who are watching me and people who understand me, or just how I format my videos. Like, legit, this is like a discussion. Like, I'm literally talking to you, and I want it to feel that way from this standpoint, just as much as I want it to feel that way from your standpoint. So whoever's watching, please just give me like something that like makes you understand that, like, you know, let's say if you're a second generation versus like a 10th generation, for one, it's not bad that you are ignorant to your own culture. It's still important to know that, and it's not like there's not any more time left to learn about where you came from and what you are as a person. So there's nothing wrong with not knowing, but definitely when it comes towards just when we have those very, very sad moments when it's like we're trying to explain to people about how stealing from other cultures and cultural appropriation as a whole is wrong, when it comes towards just the in-depth, like, just roots of culture, because you can't just sit up here and say that, like, I'm putting this one traditional thing on for Halloween and calling it like just a costume. That's not enough, you know? That's not enough to just, it's not something that you could write off when people have fought so hard to keep what they believe in as what it is, you know? Let me put these cookies in the oven so I can keep that mindset fresh in my mind, so I can really just talk about it. Give me 1 second. Okay, cookies are in the oven. We're gonna do this right now. You can't see it, but if you were wondering who's my background, it's Jennie from Blackpink. Yeah, 11 minutes. And we are doing this, and I'm gonna move my cord out of the way. And I kind of just slammed the door, but we're gonna talk about this so it's fresh in my mind. Okay, so we're a little crooked, but I don't care. But I just wanted to keep it fresh in my mind before I forget it. But basically my discussion was the importance of learning about your heritage and culture. Okay, so when it comes towards just culturally where you come from, or culturally where like your parents are from, or just like the actual specific land, or like, you know, just that deep-rooted thing that represents where you're from and what you are, I think that it's important to learn about like where you come from, because ain't nothing more like beautiful than to see, like, I can like pinpoint things like, okay, such as like graduation, and when you look and see like with the different people from different places how they celebrate like a big milestone, which is graduation. So you see, let's say, okay, I remember a few years ago there was this video where it was like these high school seniors from Hawaii, and they did this cute little routine in their cap and gowns, and it was basically like, watch me whip, watch me nae nae, but it was like so precious just to see them be, you know, them. And since it was a Hawaiian graduation, everybody had the leis and all that, and you heard a whole bunch of chihus, that kind of thing. Please don't come for me, people that are from Hawaii. Like, I know that was very tired, I'm sorry. But like just the celebration and like the billions of leis that you see with them, and just how precious, like seeing everybody come together and just celebrate and doing, like, you know, they're doing their chants and doing like their native dances just to celebrate just a very monumental thing. That's so beautiful to me, you know. And just to see how people can go so hard when it comes towards just being proud of you and just being like happy that, like, yes, you did this, but let's do this in the name of culture, that kind of thing. I know for me specifically, it wasn't really like anything like, it was, of course, my family and friends, they did a big like, whoa, yeah, blah, blah, blah. You, like, you know, you always hear it's like the loudest people in the room. It's always your family during graduation. But the only reason why I brought up that example is because that's really when you see it in a big way. That's when you see it for real, and I find that to be so beautiful. And another example is just kind of like the flip side, as the reason why it should be implemented and it should be a thing that we do and that we talk about, is just the whole cultural appropriation aspect. So with me, and this kind of will like make sense about the whole weird culture identity thing that I have that's going on with me, and that what most people really go through. But as far as with Black people and how we fight so hard to make our voices heard when it comes towards America and just the rest of the world, it is important that we as Black people, and especially we as Black women, that we understand, or that we make everybody else understand, that just because you're wearing like braids, or just because you're wearing like dreads and all that stuff, just because you're wearing those, it like literally like doesn't, it's not a part of you. And what we mean by that is, when we fight so hard because of it, because when it comes towards people that are not of like not black, or just not, they haven't dealt with the thought of hearing like rules and regulations about how you should look neat, or you should look kept together, and you should look a certain way to come into the workplace, or to not be like treated as how stereotypes have just shaped our world into thinking that like everybody is like their stereotype. I am a strong believer of black women practically are the only ones that can like walk around with box braids and like the faux dreads and all that stuff, because that's us. It's what we made. That's our thing, you know. And we fight so hard for it just because you hear those stories or those headlines where it's like, black woman was fired because she wouldn't take down her braids, or she wore her natural hair in the workplace. And it's kind of like, why are we still dealing with this? It's not recent, but it's not like it's new. Well, it's not recent, but it's not like it's old anyway, because you hear like everything for years and years about how like my curly afro is like not within regulation or anything. But I'm thankful to God that my job is like literally the best when it comes towards that. Like, you really don't have to, you don't have to look always. Oh, okay, well, the timer is, but I'm gonna stop that just so I can get my my thoughts out. But I'm thankful to God that I have a job that that's like you could literally just walk around just like you have your hair like this, or you have your hair in a different color. It's like, it's not really a big deal. I mean, I work retail, so it's like you still have to be groomed, of course, but it's not like it's so like you have to like, it has to be like this or it has to be like that. But like, just hearing the fact that with let's say like military regulations, I know when I wanted to be in the Navy and I wanted to do those certain things, I was kind of curious as to how like regulations were for black women, because I was sitting here like, how am I going to manage my hair? As much as I do horrible with managing my hair, how am I going to do it? Because I don't know how to correctly do my hair. So I was literally like, I don't know how I'm gonna do this, because I know if it's not in a slick bun, then I'm gonna get like my butt chewed, because I'm like, I don't know how I'm gonna handle that. And so I looked up a whole bunch of things about military women, like, how to do a correct military bun and all that stuff. And it was like, why do I have to go through all of this? Like, why? Like, what's, why is that a thing? And then I found out specifically for the Navy branch that they just put dreads as regulation. And that was like maybe 2016 or 2017 at the time. We've had the Navy branch for over a century. Like, I'm saying like over a century, like obviously it's a little bit more than that, but like we've had it for literally over a century. And I mean, of course we didn't have rights back then, but like when we were able to actually integrate and be in like the regular military, like dreadlocks weren't in regulation. Like, huh? Like, make that make sense to me. Like, I don't understand how that doesn't make sense. Okay, so the cookies are ready. I'm gonna go on and take that before I go off on my next tangent about what's going on, over like what I'm thinking about, basically. There. Okay, so these cookies look fire, by the way, but I really just wanted to get this out just so that I make it make it known, or make it just something that's out in the open. But basically what I'm getting at is, you really have to explain to people, and you have to literally fight for what goes on when it comes towards where you came from, where you come from, and what you do. I'm gonna fight until my grave that me being black, or me being, just me being me while having dark skin is not a threat, It's not what people make it out to be. No, I'm not the, this stereotype of being ghetto, unkept, and just you know, just loud and like practically every stereotype that this world has placed on black women. This box that people have created for just what they think about black women and black people. No, black brothers are not always going to go into hip hop or go into like the NBA or NFL. I mean, while that may happen, and that's obviously a rather common thing, and it's a rather thing that's like a staple in our culture. But at the same time, we're not just that. Because even what we say in our lyrics and how we produce scores and big records in this world, we are much more than that, you know. I want to be taken serious, you know, when it comes towards that and how how like we're portrayed in the media. I want to see me, you know. I want to see me on the big screen. I want to see me in Hollywood, not somebody who's basically practically like the token person, or the token black person that's everybody goes to and uses for that black girl role, you know. I want somebody that looks like me. I mean, it practically could be me, but I don't think that with all of that being said, I don't think that like it's all, you know, a loss. Because I mean, even though like I said a whole bunch more than what I'm saying right now, but with culture and all that in general, it's not bad that you don't think so, but it's still an important thing that you need to know when it comes towards just your heritage and where you come from. Because the way this world is changing, it's getting rather hard to like explain to people that like dreads and braids and other like rather black things, and people who do like blackfish and stuff, it's not right, you know. It's not authentic. It's not you, you know. And it's weird how it's become a like a sense of normacy, something like that. We sweep things like that under the rug, but it's still a problem. Like, no, wearing like a kimono or wearing a hanbok for a Halloween costume is wrong, you know. Putting chopsticks in your hair is wrong, you know. I should know this name, but like the Native American headdress, like wearing that and like, you know, doing like very stereotypical things that are, you know, not correct, that are wrong, that's wrong, you know, that's wrong. Don't do that. And it's not an aesthetic. It's a tradition. It's a way of life. It's practically everybody's reality. It was practically someone's reality at one point. So don't make fun of it. So I hope to challenge you guys to like learn how to treat culture with respect. Just that part. I know that's a very broad subject, but like treat it with respect. And hopefully that we can grow as like a world to like realize that it's, you know, some things are just not what they look like cosmetically. It has some deep root to it. And I hate that I still went around the world just to make a point, but I'm trying my best. I still don't do scripts and all that, but that's really all I wanted to say. Okay, look at my cookies. They're really nice. I might just try one on camera just so that we can get that together. Yeah. Okay, so I'm gonna try this one. It feels soft in the mug. It's probably all zoomed up on my face. I really don't care at this point. But it's good, as usual, per usual. Pillsbury, you did the dang thing. So I hope you all enjoyed this video. Please share your thoughts. Let's say if this is the one that gets me viral. please be respectful in the comments. Don't start really stupid, like, actual evil discussions, because everybody has an opinion about this certain topic. But I want to hear your thoughts. Let me know what you think, and as usual, I will see you in the next video. Bye, y'all.